Hello everyone in the virtual room today. I'll just give it a few minutes just before we start to make sure we've got everyone who's attending. So just bear with us a few minutes and then we can get started. Okay, we've just had a couple more filing in, so I think we'll get started now. Okay, so hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining our webinar in partnership with targetjobs entitled Find Out How You Can Make a Career Change to Join Aldi as an Area Manager Today. We've got a jam-packed hour ahead of us, so let's make a start with some brief introductions. So, in the virtual room today, we have two members of Aldi's recruitment team, which is myself, Nicola, and Charlotte. And we were also joined by Victoria Fuller, who is an experienced area manager and mentor within our Bolton region. So, my name is Nicola, and I manage all of the university engagement between Aldi and around 180 universities across the UK. So I facilitate lots of the events we attend, such as careers fairs, webinars, and skills sessions. I'll pass you on to my colleague Charlotte, who is also part of the Aldi recruitment team.
Thanks, Nicola. Hello, everyone. My name's Charlotte, and I work for Aldi in the Area Manager and Placement Recruitment team. There are three of us in this team, and between the three of us, we manage the end-to-end process for all applications for our Area Manager Career Changer role, the graduate programme, and the placement opportunities that we offer here at Aldi. I'll now pass you on to Vicky, who will introduce herself.
Hi everyone, so I'm Vicky Fuller. I'm an area manager at Aldi. I have been at Aldi now for 7 years as an area manager, and I previously worked as an English teacher, a secondary school English teacher, prior to making the switch over to this role.
Fantastic, thank you both. So within the Aldi recruitment team, we manage the end-to-end process of every application we receive for all graduate and career changer area manager and placement roles across GB. The recruitment teams are based within our Atherstone head office and our Bolton regional office, where we focus on all elements of the employee life cycle. And this covers attraction, recruitment, training, career progression, and health, well-being and benefits for all of our 38,000 colleagues. So during the next hour, we aim to provide you with an overview of Aldi, our area manager career changer opportunities, and what makes us an award-winning employer. You'll also get to hear from a current area manager, and we will even give you some insider information, hints and tips on how to apply and what to expect during our recruitment process. Finally, we will end our time together with a Q&A session. We understand that there's lots to think about when considering an area manager career change, and some of you may not have been through a recruitment process quite like this before. So it's your opportunity to ask any questions you may have for us. You can either drop your questions in the chat function at any point, or we will open up the floor for any questions at the end. We'll aim to answer as many questions as we can. That's what we're here for. So, are you currently working in a role when you feel your potential is not being utilised to its full? Are you looking for an opportunity to get involved, give more, and even get more back? Then our Area Manager Career Changer programme role is perfect for you. The Area Manager role will give you an in-depth insight into the ins and outs of our business and will be the first step into revitalising your career. Through the intensive training programme, you'll hone and develop skills you'll need to excel in the role, and you'll be running your own set of Aldi stores before you know it. So why join #Team Aldi as an area manager? Well, we invest heavily in our people, we work hard to maintain our corporate responsibilities, and we are hugely proud of our awards and credentials. At Aldi, we know our success has only been possible thanks to our amazing colleagues, which is why our staff benefits span across discounts and finance, wellbeing and fitness, and much more. We understand that amazing doesn't happen overnight. This is why we're making changes to be greener, fairer, and healthier every day. From sourcing sustainable produce, reducing the plastic and packaging waste, working with amazing charities, and also our partnership with Team GB to ensure that we are constantly working to make these changes every day. Our credentials really speak for themselves, and we're really proud to have recently been awarded Employer of the Year at the Grocer Gold Awards, both Workplace Game Changer and Best Retailer over 500 million awards from the Retail Gazette, as well as being consistently placed in the Times Top 100 Graduate Employers.
We're now going to cover the requirements for the role. So you will need to have a 2-2 degree or above across any discipline, possess strong leadership and management within a fast-paced and challenging environment, and have the ability to really motivate teams to achieve results. You'll need to hold a driving licence, have right to work in the UK, have a proven track record in taking on responsibility and ensuring teams are meeting and really exceeding KPIs. You will have excellent organisational and interpersonal skills and be able to communicate confidently with different areas of our business. So, as you will see from the image displayed on the screen, we offer a £55,915 starting salary. Your generous starting salary will rise in increments to £81,415 in 4 years. Fully expensed car, so you'll collect your keys on day one, so you'll need a full driving licence. You can also enjoy our discounted health cash plan and take advantage of gym membership discounts, discounted cinema tickets, money off holidays, and so much more. Opportunities to travel. So if you're performing really well, we might suggest a UK, European, or even international secondment, typically to the US or Austria. Our wellbeing programme links to 5 key areas of wellbeing: physical, mental, nutritional, financial and social wellbeing. Colleagues have access to an online wellness portal containing information and guidance, 24/7 employee assistance programme and wellbeing related benefits. Excellent work-life balance, so we really want to look after you. So you'll be given 5 weeks holiday plus bank holidays, work from home options and the ability to manage your own diary. With a dedicated mentor from day one, you'll get the support that you need. And even once the programme ends, you'll get great development opportunities throughout your Aldi career. Your own multi-million-pound business. Now, this is the big one. So as soon as you're ready, which could be even less than a year, you'll take full responsibility for up to 4 stores. So what could the future look like for you? You're now a fully fledged area manager with complete control of your area. So most of your time will be spent visiting your stores and driving your teams to success. What could be next for you? So Aldi offer many secondment opportunities for our colleagues where you can experience and gain knowledge across other vital parts of our business. You may be interested in exploring the inner workings of Aldi and be keen to take on projects in different business areas. If you're performing really well, as I've already alluded to, we might suggest a UK, European or even international secondment. So that's everything for now from me. So I'm going to, apologies, I'm going to hand over to Vicky.
Thank you very much, Charlotte. So essentially, I came across on the Career Changer programme 7 years ago. So 7 years ago, I was working as an English teacher in a high school. And I didn't ever really think about leaving, if I'm totally honest. I'd spent all of my time training and going to uni, completing my PGCE to be a teacher. And that is what I wanted to do in life. But there was a niggling feeling somewhere in the back of my mind that I was maybe a little bit bored of what I was doing. I wanted some further challenge. I didn't want to be marking books every night for the rest of my professional career. And I also didn't know how many times I could keep teaching and rereading the same novel over and over again. So as I did my weekly shop in Aldi one Sunday, I saw a poster advertising the area manager role with the banner, "Could you lead a team to success?" And I said to my husband at the time, 100% I could do that. So I had a quick Google when I got home that night and saw a few things talking about the challenge of the role and being tougher than you expected to be, and all the opportunities that would be on offer for me. I took the plunge and later on that evening applied for the role, and 7 years later I can honestly say it was the best decision that I ever made. In terms of the transition over, I think the biggest worry for me was I had a successful career. I was doing a good job of being a teacher, and there was that kind of like worry and nervousness over, it's something new, it's something I've never done before. Why am I changing to a career that I've no idea if I'll be any good at, when I know I'm good at the one that I'm doing? And I know definitely when I told my family that I was going to move across and work in a supermarket, they were like, "Why? You've spent all of your time training up to do this. Why are you changing your mind now?" So I had the last laugh on that one anyway, but it was definitely something that made me feel like quite nervous over, and the thought that I might not be as good as this as I had been a previous career. I think for anybody feeling that way, the answer would absolutely be do it. Just go for it. The transition was really, really smooth for me. I was given a mentor straight away from day one who helped me with everything that I would need to know about the transfer. So helping me understand exactly what the role would entail, was there for me to ask questions of and guide me throughout the process, had weekly meetings with me where I could discuss exactly where I was up to, what I was on track to achieve. And I could really see somebody who was successful in the role, doing the role, and kind of like see what elements of theirs were similar to my leadership style and what elements of my own I wanted to bring across. And I think as a mentor now, that's what I do for all of my new trainees as well, to make sure that they feel as comfortable in the role as possible and have the support and guidance they need to move forward. In terms of transferable skills, I didn't really know what I would have that would be transferable. I'd taught children. I was then going to be leading adults, and I didn't really know how similar that would be. I've since found out that everything is transferable, and all of the skills that I had as a teacher have really fit in nicely with this. So as a teacher, some of the main things I had were delivering content to children, then checking that they understood it all via marking or questioning, and then either reteaching it or going through and adding more support where necessary, in order to help them improve. In terms of Aldi, our main kind of management principles are that of delegation, supervision that it's happening, and then providing feedback. So it's exactly the same approach that I was used to as a teacher, just in a very, very different format. In terms of the people skills that I had, you obviously need to be to have those skills, in order to win children over, get them on side, make sure that they want to learn and motivate them to success. And the exact same skills have been useful in helping me become a really successful area manager at Aldi too. In terms of my favourite part of the role, I would say definitely the people side of the role. So I have 4 stores now, alongside some areas of responsibility that I run across the Bolton region too. And in terms of my 4 stores, I am responsible for everything that happens within them. So I recruit my staff, I bring in the people that I want as part of my team. And then the best part about it is being able to promote those people years later, seeing them progress and be successful in their careers, and knowing that I chose them, I saw the skills in them that would be suitable for the role, and being able to help them move forward in their careers with Aldi too. So I definitely say my favourite part is seeing other people develop under my leadership. The other part is when you see a store move from success to success. So when you take a store and you see exactly what you've managed to do to drive that forward and make it really successful. So yeah, they're definitely some of my favourite parts of the role.
Thank you, Vicky. I really hope that's given you all a greater understanding of the responsibility, development opportunities, and most importantly, the support that is provided within the role. So essentially, we have 13 regions across the UK and Ireland where we recruit for our area managers to join our Career Changer programme. Each region has a regional office and distribution centre. As an area manager, you report to the store operations director for all things relating to your own stores and the people within them. You'll be the main link between your stores and the logistics team based within the regional distribution centres. We are now going to talk you through the application process for the Area Manager Career Changer role and give you some useful hints and tips. You're more than welcome to take some notes, and if you think of any questions, we have a Q&A session at the end to talk through. So like I mentioned, I'm going to talk you through an overview of the application process. So for the Career Changer programme, there are 5 stages to the recruitment process, and I've broken them down into stages for you. So the first stage is the online application. Our open questions in the application form will allow you to tell us everything you know about Aldi and why you want to be an area manager and join our amazing team. We're also going to ask you a whole variety of questions about what motivates and inspires you. There's lots to get in here, so there's no need to rush it. We really want to hear about your managerial experience and key career achievements. The second stage is the video interview. So first impressions go a long way. So think about where you want to record your interview and how you want to present yourself. Make sure your questions relate to the questions, but say something we'll remember. We really want to hear about what key skills you can bring to Aldi and what has driven you to explore a career with us. The third stage is the online testing. So if you're successful at video interview, you'll be emailed with a link to complete our online psychometric tests, which have been designed to measure your core skills and personal qualities, as well as to see if we are right for each other. The fourth stage is the individual assessment. We are currently holding virtual assessments. It might not be face-to-face, but it's still really important to prepare. So think about how you want to present yourself and how you want to engage with your assessor. Here, you'll be asked to deliver a short presentation, followed by a one-to-one competency-based interview with Aldi and an Aldi assessor. We're looking for you to demonstrate your drive, professionalism, leadership skills, and your passion to join Aldi. And finally, the final interview. The people you really need to impress when you get to the final interview are our managing directors. They're the ones responsible for hiring our area managers, and they will focus on 3 key areas. Firstly, you focus on all areas of your life, not just work. The second key area is being able to talk about Aldi, so really do your research. We want to see your drive and passion for the business. And thirdly, we are looking for you to demonstrate certain competencies, for example, leadership, teamwork, and confident communication skills.
So I'll give you a couple of hints and tips for this. So first of all is personality. So as Nicola just mentioned, first impressions really do go a long way. We receive lots of applications for our programme each year, and so you'll need to make sure that you stand out from the crowd. Secondly would be leadership and teamwork, some of the main areas to the role. So to be a successful area manager, you'll need to be able to lead by example, and you'll need to work well in a team. Our Aldi stores are successful because of our excellent teamwork that we encourage, as well as the high standards that we set for our teams. Ahead of your application, try to think of some really strong examples which you feel can demonstrate this, and try to be really structured with your answers. Within this role, you will have to roll your sleeves up and you will have to get stuck in and work together. Research Aldi. Make sure that you do your research on Aldi and our business model. Our website's a really good starting point for it, and there's loads of information on there for you to read and watch to find out more. The Grocer is also a great external publication to read. There's loads of articles about Aldi, but also our competitors too, and to help you find out more about the wider retail market. And then the most important thing, be punctual. All assessments are currently virtual, as Nicola mentioned, and so we'd really recommend that you check your camera, your audio equipment and your Wi-Fi prior to attending these. Final interviews are taking place in person, so if you are successful, make sure that you check the location and plan your journey and do a practice journey there too if you can.
Okay, so we will now talk you through the structure of the individual assessment. We will cover the structure of the assessment, our role as assessors, and what we are looking for. So, the individual assessment structure. We start by providing a brief overview of Aldi. This is the first time we get to meet you face to face, albeit virtual. So we always like to start with some introductions to allow you to get to know more about us, about our time at Aldi and our career history, but more importantly for us to get to know you. Once we have completed the introductions, we will move on to your 3-minute presentation. You will always receive full instructions about the presentation prior to the assessment. Following on from your presentation, the assessor will ask you some competency-based questions that link in with our scoring framework. And finally, the assessor will then provide some information about next steps in the process, and there will be plenty of time for you to ask any questions about the role, recruitment process, more about Aldi, if this has not already been covered in the assessment so far. So our role as assessors. As assessors, we have a lot of responsibility throughout the assessment. We are assessing you as an individual against the core competencies required for the role. We do take notes, and you will probably see us doing this, but what we write is purely factual. It's our role to ensure that everyone is treated fairly throughout the process, to ensure consistency and create an inclusive environment. Reasonable adjustments will be discussed with candidates prior to the assessment. And finally, we aren't here to trip you up or catch you out. We want you to enjoy the experience as best as you can. So really try to put the nerves to one side.
So what are Aldi assessors looking for at this stage? So on screen, these are the qualities and characteristics that Aldi assessors believe are important to display during the individual assessment. To summarise some of these, it's all about how you have a genuine interest and enthusiasm for our business and career opportunities with us, being able to identify key information within tasks, show you have leadership qualities, that you can take control and give direction when necessary without overpowering others, that you can listen and understand and value others' ideas, that you can be effective decision making but also drive towards a conclusion, that you can be a team player and ensure that everyone gets their say. And finally, throughout the process, that you can communicate confidently, clearly and professional throughout. So I just want to take the time to thank you all for joining our webinar today, and we really hope it's given you an insight into our Career Changer programme. So as you'll see on screen is the QR code, which will take you directly to our recruitment brochure and the apply links as well. And here you'll be able to view further case studies and get detailed overview into the training and support provided in your first 12 months in role and beyond. Thank you again, and I'd just like to open up the floor for any questions you might have for us at Aldi, or any questions you might have for our area manager, Vicky. So I'll bring up the chat box and I'll read some out and we'll get those answered for you. So a question we had come through earlier was, what made you transition to Aldi specifically? So I think this is a question for you, Vicky. I know you touched on it on your slides. I think this question came a little bit before that, but yeah.
No problem. So as I mentioned before, I wasn't actually ever really looking to leave. There was just one thing that made me think, I don't know if I want to do this forever. And I think being 21 and deciding what you want to do for the rest of your life is like a really big decision to make. And so I wasn't 21, I was married, I'd been teaching for 5 years, and there was just something about the advert that just caught my eye that day. And I think mainly just there was something that was making me think, I'm a little bit bored. I want something else. I want more of a challenge. And something caught my eye that day. I think it was that leading teams, the fact that it said it was going to be a challenge, the fact that it said, I think you'll probably have all seen the advertisement that says, I'm tougher than I thought I was. And it was something within that made me think, there's got to be something to this. And if I'm totally honest, I just randomly applied. It was just on a whim that I thought, this is something that I feel like I could do. I want more challenge in my life. And yeah, so it wasn't Aldi specifically that I chose to apply for out of a whole range of companies, because I wasn't really looking. There was just something about that Aldi advertisement that made me think, oh, this is a company that I want to work for. And so Aldi was the only application that I actually made outside of teaching.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you for that, Vicky. Let's get another question up. So someone was asking, how many applications do you usually get for these roles? So I think this might be one for you, Charlotte.
So collectively, so for our area manager, graduates, career changer and placement roles, we recruit seasonally. So last year we received over 4,600 applications for our roles. This season, so we turned on our area manager recruitment in September of last year. So we're sort of halfway through the season. For our area manager roles collectively, we have received trying to think off the top of my head now, we've received nearly 2,000 applications across both of those roles. So it is a very popular one and a very busy one, but I think that just proves again just how much it is an incredible, especially the career changer, it really is an incredible job, because I don't think many industries, give you that option to go from one career to another.
Great, thank you. A question, if you are successful with the recruitment, when would the start date be? So correct me if I'm wrong, Charlotte, I believe the recruitment process for each area manager career changer roles does depend on regional requirements. So it kind of depends on which region you do apply for, and it is dependent on the starting date that's specified. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Charlotte.
Yeah, so for our area manager roles, we have 5 intakes throughout the year. We sort of recruit in cohorts just because of the training program, with it being a year long. So we do have 5 intakes throughout the year. So you'll normally find that you have a October intake, sort of January, February, one in April, one in July, and then again sort of August, September as well. The reason that we have 5 intakes, as I said, it sort of aligns with the cohorts for the training to start, but equally we also appreciate that some people might have quite long resignation periods that they have to work with a previous employer, so we just try and work with the candidate really more than anything.
Fantastic. And then possibly another one for you, Charlotte, as well. I'm currently studying outside of the UK, but I attended a UK university. Can I still enrol for the programme?
As long as you have right to work in the UK, then yes.
Fantastic. And then another question. Hi, are there any links to apply for the role? So on the last screen there on the slide, the QR code, if you scan it with your phone, should hopefully pop up with our recruitment website to detail the area manager career changer programs. If that doesn't come up, our best website is the Aldi recruitment website. And if you click on Area Managers and then click Career Changes, you can find out all the information there in terms of everything we've discussed on this webinar. So any requirements for the role, a bit more about the application process, and then obviously those different UK regions that you can apply for as well. Let's have a look. Is there an email to send a query for non-UK candidates? I'm currently in the UK, but have a goal to join after I get my right to work. I don't know, do you want to answer that, Charlotte?
Yeah, sure. So unfortunately, when you apply at Aldi, one of the first questions you will be asked is one of the minimum requirements is to that you are valid to work in the UK. So until you have got that, you unfortunately can't apply. But what I can say is if you go onto our recruitment website, you can actually register your interests sort of with our area manager roles. So you can obviously sort of see when they're switching on, because we do recruit sort of every year for this role. So my advice would be to sign up for that online. And as soon as you get that right to work, then absolutely put an application in.
Fantastic. A question, is there anywhere where you can practice for the online tests? So in terms of Aldi's style online psychometric tests, we unfortunately don't kind of have any material for those. But my best advice would be to kind of type in on Google if they have any online psychometric testing. I believe during our process it is very similar to the ones demonstrated online already. So kind of get into grips with those and really keep practicing with those online psychometric tests will really stand you in good stead for the Aldi ones once it comes to that in the application process. Someone's asking, I do not have a driving licence, so does that mean I cannot apply? Unfortunately, it is one of the minimum requirements for the Aldi career changer role, purely because the area manager role consists of a lot of travelling to each different stores. You're also given a car on your first day to be able to do those stores. And unfortunately, if you don't have a driving licence, it makes it very difficult to do that. So it is one of our minimum requirements. Providing that when you do pass your test, absolutely, you can absolutely apply.
Just to add to that, Nicola, if somebody's currently doing their driving lessons and can prove that, you know, if they got a job offer, it makes up part of the final job offer. So if you're currently learning to drive and you're committed and you know you can have that driving license sort of at job offer stage, then you can still apply.
Fantastic. Is a degree essential for this role, or is extensive experience accepted? So just to make our application process completely fair and consistent for every single applicant that we do get, we do make the 2-2 degree requirement one of our minimum requirements for the role. So it is something that we do require for those application processes for the career changer role. Let's have a look. Can I know if the roles at Aldi are just for the UK nationals or anyone who has the right to work in the UK can apply?
Yeah, anyone that has the right to work in the UK can absolutely apply for this role or any of our roles in Aldi.
Brilliant. I've got a specialised BSc degree. I got it from Sri Lanka, but you don't have a 2-2. I have a master's degree in the UK. I live in the UK and I've always been passionate about retail and your business model. Can I apply?
Yes, so the degree requirement is a minimum of a 2-2. So a master's is a higher level degree, which would meet the minimum requirements. So yes.
Brilliant. Okay, another question. I recently moved to the UK from India. I have 6 years of work experience in e-commerce, category management and business development. I have a couple of questions, so I'll just read them out one by one. So the first one, unfortunately, I don't have the driving licence yet, but I can commit to providing the licence in 6 months. Do you allow any provision for the same whilst considering for the role? Yes, as Charlotte mentioned before, absolutely. If you can prove that you're learning to drive, looking to pass your test very soon, you're absolutely welcome onto our programme. And then the second question within there, to Vicky. I would also like to understand, how does your day in life look like? What are all the various tasks, meetings and deliverables you undertake daily?
Okay. So this can range by week. So obviously an example would be Christmas week will look very, very different to the first week of January, which will also look very different to July. So there's lots of different tasks that need to be completed each week. So as a minimum requirement, I visit all of my stores once per week, and I sit down with each of my store managers there to understand the KPIs that the store have achieved for the previous week, and to look at what we can do to develop and improve those, or what areas we've excelled in that previous week, and to pass on best practice. And so mainly first element will be KPI focus. The second element would be kind of development of the team. So I also work with my store managers to look at how we can share best practice across my area. Some of my store managers excel in different areas to others, and so it's a great approach to have, to be able to get them to work together as well, so that I can share best practice and drive improvements across my stores. So first of all, one task would be visiting every store and sitting down with every store manager for the week. As well as those, I complete all of the recruitment for my stores. So I'm interviewing regularly across the course of the week to get the best staff in the best positions into the best stores. And then I also complete all of the performance management. So any form of disciplinary that is passed my way, I would complete the disciplinary hearings for those. I also complete everything. So promotions, disciplinaries, I do contract signings for my staff. So recruitment's quite a large element, and performance management too. I also have areas of responsibility across the region as well. So I'm in charge of ordering, merchandising. So they take up quite a bit of my time, visiting other stores, looking at merchandising, look at how we can improve our ordering systems, flagging issues that I find. I have 2 trainee area managers as well, so I'm a mentor to them. So some of my time each week is spent visiting my trainees in their stores and finding out how they're getting on, looking at where they need development and what areas they're working well in. I have meetings with my director. So I have a meeting with my director bi-weekly. So every other week, I'll meet my director and go through kind of the figures for my stores and all the people management side of things. There's loads. There's absolutely loads. I think obviously Christmas week, I am walking the shop floor constantly, checking prices are correct, making sure that I'm looking at merchandising choices and making sure that we've made all the commercial decisions we can to be the best we can possibly be. And I think that's one of the main areas of the role. The more you are in your stores, the more you are looking at what's happening and driving performance and driving those teams to success, the more successful you'll be.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Vicky.
No problem.
This might be a question for you, Charlotte. So with regards to one of the requirements for this role is to have some leadership or management skills. If you don't have direct work experience but can prove those skills, would you still be eligible to apply for the role?
So tricky question, really. So for the career changer role, we do look that you've had some experience in managing, managing teams, whether it be large, whether it be small, or some leadership experience from a working background. Now, we do work to competencies. So if you can essentially prove those competencies, then absolutely you can apply. We do also have a graduate program, so Say if you have maybe graduated in the last maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years, you would still be eligible to apply for our graduate area manager program. And with that, we don't look for the skills in a workplace environment. I hope that answers your questions. Both of the roles are on the recruitment website. So my advice would be maybe look at the roles side by side and see which of the two maybe fits to your circumstances at the minute, and our minimum requirements for both roles are also on the website.
Fantastic, thank you, Charlotte. So like Charlotte mentioned, we have 2 different area manager roles that you can apply for, so either career changer or graduate. I'm just going to pop in the chat box both of the links to our website for those, so do have a look if you're interested. I'll just scroll back up and find the rest of the questions. So another question for you, Charlotte, or possibly Vicky. Once you've completed your training, do you have the option for hybrid working?
Do you want me to take that one, Charlotte?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have the option to work from home. However, you must remember that this role is managing teams and managing stores. And so although there absolutely is the opportunity to work from home, so you can complete a lot of your admin at home, you can complete a lot of your reporting, your spreadsheets analysis, all of that stuff can absolutely be completed at home. But in order to drive your teams forward, you do need to visit your stores and you need to be there regularly to see what is happening and to be able to help improve the teams and the stores. So yeah, there is the opportunity to do elements of the work from home, but a large majority of that work would still need to be completed in stores.
Fantastic. Another question, do you sponsor a worker's visa to switch from my current student visa, which includes right to work in the UK, to working visa if application is successful?
Do you want me to take this one, Nick?
Yes, please.
At the minute, no, we don't. We do require full right to work in the UK, sort of long term. So if in 2 years' time you joined us on your student visa, but in 2 years' time you could prove right to work, that's absolutely fine, but we don't sponsor it, I'm afraid.
Are there any logistic regional manager positions to manage in the Central Belt Scotland in those 13 areas across the UK and Ireland?
So each of our regional distribution sites has a logistics area manager. But again, sort of details about those, you'd be best going to our recruitment website. But we have, so our Bathgate region is the whole of Scotland. So we do have plenty of opportunities up there. Plenty of opportunities in logistics and logistics management. But again, the best place to look at that will be our recruitment website off the top of my head.
Fantastic. Yeah, really nice point. Just to reiterate what Charlotte said as well, with our regions across Aldi, what's really nice about applying for these different areas is that you can choose a preferred region and then a secondary region as well. So do have a look on our recruitment website to see where kind of your ideal area does sit within the UK, and definitely look for opportunities within those regions. Okay, let me just scroll down. Another question for you, Vicky. As an area manager, do you plan your own diary?
Yes, 100%. Everything is planned by me. So I work and decide what days of the week I'll work. So I work full time, so 5 days a week. I decide what 5 days of the week they will be each week. I also decide what I'm going to do on each day. And very much you are managed by output on what you achieve. So basically, I have to recruit. I decide when I want to put my interviews on. I decide exactly when I'm going to go through my applications. So yeah, it's very, very flexible in that you decide when you're going to complete those tasks. You just need to make sure that they're all complete.
Great. When is the graduate programme open for applications?
So we are open now for our graduate season as well. So again, we have different requirements in different regions, and they are, the roles do go pretty quickly. So if you're interested, I would probably apply rather sooner rather than later.
Great. Hi, I'll make a similar question, but I would love an answer. I have the pre-settled status that gives me the right to work until December 2025. After that date, I will probably need to apply for a settled status, or is there a possibility for Aldi to sponsor a worker's visa in 2025?
So we currently don't offer sponsorship for visas. Now, I'm not saying that that's something that won't change, but it would be our sort of like administrative and legal team. Obviously, that would sit with, but at the moment, we don't currently offer sponsorship with visas.
Thank you. Let's have a look. So thank you for the webinar. I have about 3 years before I can actually start. Is this too far out to register my interest? So in terms of your interest in our role, it might be circumstantial if that's kind of held back between graduation years. If that is the case, it would be the graduate area manager programme that you would apply for, just purely because you're a newly graduated student. I don't know. Do you want to take that, Charlotte?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So thanks for the webinar. I've got 3 years before I can actually start. So for, like Nicola said, if it's the graduate program, you would obviously apply sort of in the year that you were wanting probably to work for Aldi. Same as career changer. So what the other option you can do is on our website, you can register your interest for roles. You can do that obviously at any time, but in terms of applying, if you can't start, say, for 3 years, my advice would be to keep reading up on the program, keep seeing how we're developing and changing things year on year, and then sort of in the year that you would want to be starting with us, I would say to apply in that year personally.
Great. Perhaps another question for yourself, Charlotte. Do you know the average age of successful career changer applicants?
It's not I don't have that data. I mean, we do have, a diversity and inclusion team, sort of within our HR department, who possibly would have that information, but it's really not about age, this role. So, while we do offer 2 different programs, what I would say for career changer is, I suppose like the graduate role, what we're looking for is those behaviours and those skills and that drive and passion to want to do this role. It sounds cheesy, but for me, age really is just a number at any point in your career. I don't think it's too late to change careers. And likewise, I think if you've got a lot of management experience, a lot of leadership experience, and you've possibly had it from quite a young age, you're equally not too young to apply for it either. So I hope that answers your question.
Great. Another question for you, Charlotte, as well. Do you recognise the CMI leadership and management qualifications?
Unfortunately, it doesn't qualify sort of as a minimum requirement for this role. I'm afraid it has to be the minimum of 2 degree in any discipline from obviously a university in the UK.
Thank you. What is the salary in the training year? So I believe that is the starting salary for the role, so inclusive of your training year, is that £55,915. That is what the salary does start off with. And that's rising to, I think, £81,415 in year 4. Another question for you, Vicky. What is the fun part of the job role, or the most enjoyable part of it?
Loads of it is fun. I think you have to bring that fun and engagement into your teams. I think that's a really easy way to get your teams to kind of want to be successful, want to achieve those results as well. So I think your role in that is bringing that engagement and fun aspect to the role. I'd say the best times for me are the busiest periods. So Christmas, when everyone's stuck in, we've got so much to achieve and a very short space of time to achieve it, and really getting stuck in with your teams, getting literally rolling your sleeves up and getting deep into those specials tables to help out is where like a really fun element is, and you can really build relationships with your teams that way. Another kind of fun aspect to it would be obviously each director has their own patch of area managers. So I am one of 7 area managers that my director kind of is accountable for, and we will always get together, we'll have a fun time working together. I think as well as teamwork's been mentioned a lot tonight, and as well as working as a team with your teams, your individual store teams, you also need to be able to work really well with the other area managers within your team, and then the wider kind of logistics team too. And making sure that you have fun with them is a really good way to make sure that you build relationships across the team, because you'll need a favour off them at some point throughout your career, that's for sure.
Great, thank you, Vicky. Another question. Typically for the Atherstone region area manager role, how long would the recruitment process take? So great question. It really does depend, purely because every application that we receive, we as people filter through every single application. We don't have any robotics or anything checking those or filtering those through. It is us at Aldi who do read every single one of them. So if we get quite a heavy influx of applications, it might take a little bit longer, but we'll absolutely make sure to get through every single one of them as soon as we possibly can. So yeah, definitely stay tuned if you are waiting to hear back from any of our kind of recruitment processes and next stages. But yeah, it's a process for us as well. But yeah, obviously just wanting to make sure that everyone gets their fair chance at showcasing themselves within the application. Let me just pop onto the questions tab just in case we've got some more. Bear with me 1 second. A really good question for Vicky. Where do you see your career going next?
My goodness. So there's loads of different opportunities within Aldi. So there's the opportunity to move to kind of like a sideways position. So something like a project manager role. There's opportunities to move into the HR team. There's opportunities to move into buying and look at buying. For me, I would absolutely love to be an operations director in the future. That's something that I'll definitely be striving to achieve.
Fantastic. And another question for you, Vicky, as well. What is the biggest challenge in your role, and how do you maintain a work-life balance?
Good question. Being able to switch off is definitely one. So I make sure that I am really efficient in my week, and I try to make sure that I plan out my day so that I don't have to take excessive amounts of work home with me. I have a 2-year-old son, and so I want to be a present mum as well as a good area manager. So being organised and making sure that you plan and prep your week is the most important, and being efficient with your time. There's no point having hours and hours and hours long worth of chats to drive your teams forward if it doesn't actually change anything. So I think making sure that you can deliver results on your timeframes and know exactly when you say enough's enough for me today. I need to make sure that I'm at home bathing my son, getting things done. But also knowing the job, there is a lot to do with the role. So some days you will work late. some weekends you will say, do you know what, I'm going to go in early today. I want to check this off. I want to do this. But that is your decision to make. And I just plan my childcare really well around it.
Oh, lovely. Thank you very much. The person who asked that, so Emma, has said that they're a third year uni student and they came for the insights. Just to reiterate what we mentioned before, with you being a university student, you'd be more kind of better gauged to our Area Manager graduate programme. So if you just look in the chat box, I've popped in our recruitment website for the Area Manager graduate programme. Just because you'll be graduating this year. And yeah, it's the Area Manager graduate role is for those students who are just about to graduate or who have graduated in the last 10 years. Anything past those 10 years and with the more management experience would fit into our Area Manager Career Changer programme. And then just to follow that question, do you have any other webinars going on? So Emma, as you mentioned that you're a student at the minute, we do have a webinar for our graduate area manager programmes that is happening this Wednesday. So Wednesday, the 25th of January. And it will be from 5 till 6 p.m. And it will be talking about our graduate area manager roles. And we'll also have a graduate area manager on with us, like we had Vicky today. They'll be able to talk more about the role and about the training as well associated with the role. That webinar is being advertised through Handshake, but if you want to send me an email at graduate@aldi.co.uk, I can send you the sign-up links for that role, and that goes for anyone else who is currently a student or has recently been a student as well. You can absolutely join our webinar for that. Yes, that's the email address is graduate@aldi.co.uk. Let's have a look. Are there any regional manager positions to manage the Central Belt, Scotland, and those 13 areas across the UK and Ireland? Oh, I believe this question was answered before, so hopefully Charlotte was able to answer your question before. Let me just double check. Fantastic. I believe that's all the questions so far. If anyone else has any further questions, do pop them in the chat while we've got a few minutes left. I'll just hold fire a second, just in case we get some more. And again, just before I sign off, I will paste the career changer area manager roles and the graduate area manager roles, the link to our recruitment website into the chat box again, just so you've got it fresh and on hand. Don't think we've got any more questions coming through. Bear with me 1 second. I think I see someone type in. No, I think we're all good. Fantastic. I think that's everyone. Again, I just want to really reiterate that we really appreciate you all putting some time aside to jump on this webinar with us. And we really hope that this has given you a lot of a more deeper insight into our area manager career changer role. And obviously a huge thanks to Vicky for popping on here and talking through her role as an area manager as well. And yeah, I really hope it's been really valuable for you, and we really look forward to receiving your applications. So thank you all, and have a lovely evening.